spiritual war.
Alright, welcome people. Ep1 of Anti. Got myself. A lot of people know me as Light Skin Prince or Tyran, whatever you want to go by. Mixture of graphic design, photography, modelling, it's kind of what I do. So, yeah. To the right of me.
Yeah, Alois. Yo, it's a good boy Alois, so Max reaction.
Yo, Young Al.
Yo, yeah, Aloysius, I do like that shit.
Nah, put yourself more than that. Man. Come on.
I run syrup, I do like events, I do like some clothes. Like I do events for like rappers and DJs and that in Bro. I'm trying to move to London and do shit there as well. Do like music and shit as well, producing. Shit like that.
Alright, and then we got to the left of me, we got
Pressure. Name's Shaim Prince, fashion designer. I can come in, do my thing on it.
My name's Myles, or trenchcoatkiller.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Fashion designer, part-time, full-time architect. Doing my thing.
So these boys kill it in fashion, man. Obviously they both got their own brands. One being Number, other being
Fuck still.
Bro, fully went out of my head, you know. Yo, that's bad. I guess like one topic that I feel like should be mentioned, considering you're both majorly into fashion, is what was the origin of kind of getting into fashion? What was your entrance? What was the thing that got you fascinated?
For me, my mom's been sewing since she's 45 now, which probably pissed me for saying.
Boy, you gon' get punched in your face.
Mom's 45, started sewing. I think it was around 13, 14.
Yeah.
And then from then, she was doing her thing, went to uni, moved to Bristol, doing fashion shows, runaways, all of that, modelling as well. And then got to the point one year she made her friend's wedding dress, madness. So in my house we've always had a sewing room. So it's one of them where growing up, always been around sewing. And she had interest in photography as well. So that's when I was doing photography previously.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
That's interesting, man, that you say about photography, because photography was a big entrance for me.
Yeah.
Like, the whole reason I'm into graphic design now is because of photography.
I hear that.
It was like a gateway.
See, and this is the thing, it's one of them where I was banging photography hard. I was traveling there. I was to a point where even when I was in school, it was to a point where it was somewhat second income clubs. So I used to do my little thing in school, make a little piece and that. But then it come to a point where photography was that was my income when I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
But then I was serious about that, and then that's what kind of got to a point when I was okay, is it photography that I want to go down, or is it fashion I want to go down? And I kind of had to sit back and kind of think about what I really wanted to put myself into, and that's when I realized say 5-6 years ago, that's when I was yo, boom, okay, fashion's where I want to be. And then since then it's just been constant grind. Went college for fashion, and then teaching stuff I already knew, teach me basic shit, and I'm sat there in outfit I've made myself, full outfit I've made myself, head to toe, even down to my boxes, everything's me in it. So it's one of them where I was okay, do I stay in college and I don't want to say waste time because there's always something to learn in it, but I weren't really learning anything. So it was do I stay in college or, so I'm saying, so do I stay in college or do I drop out and then get my own spot and then just graft on that? So then literally dropped out of college after so second year dropped out after 3-4 months. Yeah, 3-4 months. And then me and my mum got a spot, so I got a spot in Joy Boy. So it's split units. I got my office, she got her thing. Been grafting in there, man. Grafting in there, everyone, and since then it's just.
What? So you saying with the office, you got that through your mum, or did you?
Yeah, so basically originally, I was looking on my own, and then Myles come with me. Some man was showing me some rock tombs. So there's one man trying to say 6 bills for literally a box. I could have got one industrial machine in.
Yeah.
And a shoe box from. And that was it.
6 bills.
6 bills a month. I was yeah, you're moving mad. So I was looking for time, and I couldn't really find nothing. And then one day my mum must have called me and was boom, found a spot. Just go check it out. Went there, perfect, massive, long as hell. And it was split, so it already had like another room in there, which is probably like,
do you know what I'm thinking?
what the size of this.
Who is your mum, man?
Yeah, you know
Superhero.
what? I'm making real with you, like, she's a G still. Like, it's one of them where, like, everyone that knows my mum, like, I'm not even gassing it, fam. Like, everyone that knows my mum knows that my mum's on levels. Obviously, me and my mum been through a lot, fam. So it's like, when it comes to this, like, this is one thing like we bond on, innit?
Yeah.
So
I seen the bag,
like,
man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, fam. So it's like, bring that through on the next clip still.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like, my mum's she's the one, man. That I can't even lie, bro. Like, I'm real. I had the same conversation with someone in work the other day, and I was like, yo, without my mum, without fashion, but I don't know what I'd be if I can't even lie. My life would be a madness.
2 seconds, I'm gonna have to peek. I'm gonna bring the bag in the
Yeah,
shot.
bring the bag, bring the bag, bro.
Flex that to the camera.
Nice.
It's heavy though.
Yeah, I got that shit next though. Designs, bro. Heavy designs from.
Toilet.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So you made the bag?
Nah, my mum made it still. What? I've got a jacket in the work store, which is like just load of pieced up denim, which ain't really original. Everyone's been doing their thing, but I think at the moment, since my mum made that, I'm kind of just working on a few pieces where it's just pieced up denim, man. Just pieced up denim. But I think it's sick. It's sick.
With you then, origins, Mr. Trenchcoat.
I don't know, like I really got into fashion through trainers.
Yeah.
Like I was always been like I actually wasn't getting that. My younger brother got into fashion. I would have to get into fashion.
That's so funky, man.
Man, that's such a killer, aka actual tech killer. Like he was always one that would just do shit that I was feeling. I thought it was free, not gonna lie. He was just put a card in one time and I'm thinking, oh, okay. I think it was a card.
Different.
You get me? He'll try something, I'll try it. He was always like fearless like that.
It's almost like a fashion role model.
Yeah,
looking at.
for real.
Cause I had the same.
I wouldn't try shit, but he would just do anything because he thought I look so either way. You get me? So that gave me confidence to try it myself.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was through trainers. I've always liked kicks from young. And it's like you can't have sick preps and a dead outfit. You know what I mean? That's the complete thing. But then like going through school, obviously, non-school uniform day was the one day you could flex in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Them days, man. Yo, at high school, man. I swear we got. You used to have these awards, innit?
Yeah.
So, year 11, you get all these awards for prom and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, swear down, best dressed, innit? It was like, it was like the best dressed or best hair. I can't remember.
Bro, me and my brother, both were best dressed and prom in the same year.
Yeah.
Like mine was 6 form history.
Bro, prom. I didn't get best dressed. You know this though as well.
Yeah, me too.
Nah, I still got a sick. Nah, you know what?
Dickhead,
Nah, you know
dead
what?
outfit one.
I got a sick award. I did get a sick award, but I was like best dressed, and that's all I cared about. I didn't get it, bro. I was pissed. Man.
But yeah, so like from that, it was like obviously kids at school with their parents giving them money to buy. What was it? Heavies back then. Like Ed Hardy, then I was wearing.
Ed Hardy.
Well, me, I was just wearing Primark.
Them prints.
I was still looking fly. So then just making my own. We started making our own shit, so we could still look good but afford doing it. And then people started wearing our shit to school. You know what I mean? From school from there, which was boosted that confidence and that. And then just from there, just started just picked up levels. So from one of my A-level projects, finesse the beats like that, and then just practicing like 5 years now, 5-6 years now, just practicing.
I mean, something that stuck in my mind is when we were talking in your studio, innit?
Yeah.
And the architectural principle of form follows function. That was the one in it. But kind of links into how I always saw fashion as I want it to be functional and comfortable. Those are the two things that I want to.
So much.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's like it has like garments can look good and that's calm. It should always look good. But if it does something as well, even better. Like I love anything that's reflective. Like with shoes, I say, don't look like reflective on copy just because it does set it down. You know what I mean? Like that I'm like what shoes there is gonna come. Like if it does set it down.
Oh, you remember Heelys?
It's all about the wheel in the heel. To find a store near you, go to Heelys.com.
If it can do what it's meant to, what it looks like it's designed for, even better for it.
One thing I will say about this guy as well, when he first started sewing, we keep it real with you, fam. Levs weren't all there in it, but it's one of them where obviously man grow in it. Now,
Yeah, of course.
me personally, obviously I've had the help from my mum. My man's taught himself and
That's the thing,
going
man.
from where he started off in a short period of time as well to the level he's at now, bro. It's mad. It's mad to see, fam. Car. I've even got another boy who he started sewing, like came to me, asked for help, and I started sewing and then these men are like going past me, fam, and it's done now, bro. I'm just on levels, bro, I'm telling you, fam, like levels, bro, seeing your boys' progress, fam. Different type of madness, bro.
Because I mean, with me, I feel like the initial interest of fashion came from my uncle, man. R.I.P. my uncle Norman, man. But obviously he died when I was young, man.
Yeah.
And this is based mainly off seeing just pictures. So I always see him with the jewel. Like, this is mainly why I'm into like accessories and shit, because he'd always be flexing nice watch, yo, sick rings. Obviously, he mainly wear gold. Obviously, I mainly wear silver, but shit like that, man. Vintage jumper Gaultier shit.
Yeah.
Just
That's like a lot of my family motto, because obviously motto gold's very big, and it's a lot of all the family always have like gold necklaces, gold bracelets, like rings and that.
Signets,
even if they haven't got that much P,
They'll still be flexing,
because it's like more value to them, and then you pass it down the generations, and it's got more meaning. You know what I mean?
So I mean, these two rings here were passed down.
Yeah.
One from my uncle, which is a tiger's eye ring, and then the other from my grandma, which was her husband that obviously passed away a long time ago. But they all keep the value. I mean, not so much with these two, but it's something to look into, man.
You can pass down yourself.
Do you know what I mean?
So with this
Investments,
thing, yeah, like it ain't no special. Little gem in there. But like my mum made this like I don't even know how many years ago. But
She
like,
makes rings as well.
Nah, you know what? She done a jewelry course. Like, I don't even know how long ago. And she slapped this together, fam. But she made a few things as well. But it's like I'm not like, I love jewelry and that, but like I don't really have a lot, fam.
Yeah.
But it's like these probably the only two rings I actually wear, fam.
I just feel like accessories add to a piece. Do you know what I mean? Add to a complete piece.
I never used to accessorize. Like it's only like now. Like I was like, I even buy. I have to get my shit made. I can't even buy shit myself.
Yo, shout out your boy though for the chain.
Oh come on, son, that
Yeah.
Trust me, Crop Dynasty.
He used one that got meant to do in jewelry. He put me with his jewelers and I designed. This is like one in town. Is these two in jewelry quarter. He got meant to it here, so hopefully more bits to come. But I like to say, I know he was accessorized, so I thought I didn't need it. But then like a couple of years ago, I thought, you know what?
Yeah, I'm on this.
I'm feeling nice.
One day, man just came up with a handful of rings. Where did this come from?
So I feel like another important element to fashion, if you want to get into it like that, is brand sustainability, and also mainly brand sustainability, man, and how you keep a brand going. As far as you look at, I don't really want to use it as an example, but Supreme, right? This is for sustainability because people don't realize how old the brand is, and obviously there was a whole different marketing audience back when they first started.
Yeah.
But they're still going, just in a different demographic. So I guess I've got to respect him in that sense of keeping the brand going for so long. But what do you two feel like the key elements to brand sustainability are, essentially?
For me, like this is what I want to try and get right myself as well.
Go on.
It's like it's being able to maintain the audience's attention. You know what I mean? And I thought the best way to do that is just sticking to like your integrity as a brand. Like a lot of brands you see all the time. A lot of brands come through and there's a new trend, they'll hop on that. They're being controlled by the audience.
Yeah.
And really, the audience is buying into you because they can't get your shit elsewhere. If you stay doing your shit, you never want to lose them. They might fade off, but at least new people are going to come through and you always choose yourself. That's one thing I want to get right, is just make it part of this thing. Not grow and stay as you are, like stagnant, but like still be true to what
That's a good point, because if you look at Supreme, man, like they're not true to what they originally set out to do. Do you know what I mean? That used to be a skater demographic. You don't really
like in some
collaboration, like that's not.
Ever since then, man. To me.
But they had their buzz was that massive. Even though it's dying down, it's still there because of how big it is.
You know, it's become more of a money thing than anything else. And I think this is one thing that I'm very big on. Like, if you ask anyone, one thing I'm always preaching on is like sustainability, because it's like with me, it's a lot of people honor me like, yo, why is everything taking so long? It's like, yo, fabrics has to be on point, quality has to be on point, and like my first collection, it's not just a load of clothes pieced together. Like it's something more meaningful to me. Like I'm telling a story, and it like it won't make much sense now. Cause obviously, it's not here yet. But like
you strike me as like a perfectionist though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
you know what it is though. It's like there's a point where I used to spend peas on garments, and it was like, okay, I've got it, but like I didn't really feel like I was getting my money's worth. Whereas like now, I won't buy into something unless I feel like it's fully worth my money on it. So it's one of them ones where I have to put myself in the customer's shoes and be like, okay, would I be happy with this? There's certain things I've made, I'm like, I like it, but there's other things about it which I'm not 100% on. And until it's at that point where I can say I'm 100% happy with it, then we'll go from there. But like, I think it's one of them where a lot of brands they'll start off on point, quality's on point, everything's on point. Like, everything about the brand is on point. And then once they get to that point where customer base is there, they've got consistent sales. Like everything's they don't have to worry about nothing. Because they know, like if you look at Supreme for example, they can put out some of the most stupid things and they know it's selling. You put out a brick, it's selling. You put out a toothbrush, it's selling.
But Hot Wheels car sold.
So I'm saying, like, it's one of them ones where
it's taking a piss to me though.
They're at a point now where they know no matter what they do, it's selling. Like I don't want that, man. Like it's one of them ones where I want to keep consistent with what I started with. Like my first, I want to put a number on it yet, but my first few collections is part of a story basically. So my first collection, I'm basically talking about the passing of my dad. So it won't make sense now, but there's certain things where you'll see and you'll be like, bro, like I've gone into details that like I've never gone into before in it with anyone. So it's like even things like that, like I'm telling a story, but I'm keeping the story, like going through a loads of collections, if that makes sense. So it's one of them ones where
I feel like with that as well, because it's so personal. It's more of a thing to think, right, do I want to put this out yet? Do you know what I mean? Because it's so close to 100%. So, talking of stories, man, Myles and Margiela, I mean that house tends to do that. Like, for example, with the my mum, shout out my mum, man. She bought me a fragrance. It's by the Fireplace by Margiela, and he basically came out with I don't know if you know about this, but he came out with collections for the fragrances based on personal experiences through his life. So each fragrance is based off scents and smells he remembers from certain memories. But by the Fireplace, it kind of smells like I'm not even wearing it today, but it kind of smells like a fireplace mixed with like chestnuts and shit. Boys, Jamie Bavely actually, shout out that guy.
Jamie, my God.
He has the jazz club one, which is equally as nice, man. Yeah.
I never mind fragrance, you know.
I was gonna ask that.
You know
person.
what? I never mind if it's still. I'm paying like what £80 for scented water, fam.
Just making me look shit.
Like, now you know what it is. I can't. I'm one of them like I never ask for gifts and that, but I'm like, I feel like fragrance, son. Like you should be given as a gift, fam. Like it's one of them like. Can't bring myself to spend peas on scented water.
I think, man, the last piece I saw from Number was those trousers, man. I don't know if you're releasing the brown ones. Oh
yeah, the wide legs, the flare, technically flares. You know what's mad? A lot of people ask me about them, you know, and I'm pissed. I didn't take a pattern off them. So when I made them, like what I used to do, I used to just make stuff, and then I'd like the pattern was just scrap because I'd make for myself. Because like there was a point where I was just making stuff for myself, and it wasn't for the collection. But then with them, it started off as for me. And then now so many people have asked about it, and it's like, it needs to be in a collection. So now I remake the pattern, which is long. But we gas for them still. Gas.
Talk about a bit of the direction you're going with now with Foxtail. As far as, obviously, you've got people such as Big Sean, Jacquees, etc. Obviously, that's got to be a motivation to like push the brand further. Do you know what I mean?
Because I didn't think that they would happen so quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and my brother that did the branding, and from the was like, okay, we want to like like making garments and sell is cool, but like I want to have achievements and stuff. Like, okay, I want to be able to dress these people out on garments and these kind of films. You know what I mean? So them and I've been on the list from time. So the fact they've happened like within like 4 months of each other, 5 months of each other, like 2 years in doing this properly, like 5 years put it, 2 years in properly, is mad. So it's just like taking the break and thinking, okay, what do I want to do now? So I want to get stocked. That's the next step. But like in order to do that, there's like more visuals I want to work on. Like I want to work on film, directing. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
I think a common thing that I'm noticing between you two as well, man, is you're both within good spaces. Do you know what I mean? Like physical spaces and mental spaces. But more so the physical space. Your space that you work at is sick, man.
Bro, I've been there all week this week, or just every day this week, bro.
Yeah.
You've never been to my space, have you?
Nah.
It's a car store. It's the best one. It's the best.
Jump on a reef, bro. It's cozy. It's cozy.
It's like I say, if I'm just having your mind right. Obviously, I've been at uni for like the last, graduated 2 years ago. But we had our other brand before that called Mad Clothing, which we stopped because of uni. Both was like uni had no time to do it. And they went until like my final year, and we thought, okay, we'll come back with something. But again, I had no time because uni was my stress. So since like 2 years since leaving, I've been able to pattern a lot. Like from working in my spare room, to then working in the conservatory, to now having my own space. You know what I mean? Like in like a year, that's happened.
I mean, for all the uni people, in itself, balancing uni and your own projects is a task. It's a task.
And work as well.
Yeah.
So I can do uni, man. This is why I rate man so much. Anyone that's in uni and doing their thing, I have to rate man. Seeing the stress, like I remember when you was it final year?
Man was through.
Bro.
I was there till 12 every day, fam.
Nah, man, done it, bro.
After work, go uni till 12 next day. Just long, but it had to be done, innit? But yeah, like since leaving, getting my house sorted now. Like my mind.
I was seeing that, pushing them weights.
Bro, like I said, like just my motivation in general is just sick right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like anything I'm starting now, I can like maintain it. But before I'll just drop off it after like a month, 2 months.
Do you know what? I could talk about the whole mental side of fitness, but that's a whole nother topic, man.
It's mad how much it helps though.
So moving on to our next segment is called Junior Affy Wheel Up. It's basically where we shout out a musical body of work that we've been rating of the month, and we see what our guests think of it.
Big knapsack, kidnap rap, leave him in the hills, give that back, don't belong to you.
Concept behind it is basically based off GTA, San Andreas, if you ever played that. But it's short clips from like memories of CJ, obviously the main protagonist of the game and that. So yeah, 30-second clips and shit's fire. Okay. Let me get the notes up, man. I had a few notes in it. Oh, okay. So, question that has been bugging me recently is, do you feel like with designers, it's easier to come up as a designer from nothing, or something under like the I don't know how to phrase it, man. So for example, have you heard of Keo? Yeah, almost, because certain designers have come from internships from like bigger designers. So you know, like Key. Have you heard of Key? Like Noir Key. Yeah. Like he obviously interned for Kawakuba under Kandaga-san. So do you feel like he's at an advantage, or do you feel like it's easier?
This is something I talk on a lot still, 100%, because it's one of them where I know a lot of internships. Did you study? Did you go to uni? Yeah. I've had a lot of people that I know that have gone into internships, they're in uni, and when you apply for internships and you're not in some form of education or whatever, I feel like there's somewhat, I know some companies won't take you in if you're not a student, and then I think, it's just one of them where it's harder to get in if you haven't got that education, like back in basically. But I find it's one of them where from that alone you then build connections as well. Whereas when you're coming from, say, it's like us, where, say, I've gone college to study fashion, but it wasn't at a uni level. So it's one of them ones where I feel like somewhat people won't take it as seriously. And then like say as if you haven't had an internship, for example. I was gonna say, cut that. Fuck, that's what I was gonna say.
Talk about internships versus, and then you just talk about man.
Like the link, like connections and that.
Yeah,
man. Like
experience as well.
It's like a catalyst, I think. It's like, it's obviously if you're around them kind of man, you're gonna get like from what I did in architecture. Do you know what I mean? I don't work placement. I got a job after. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have got that. Do you know what I mean?
It's the same with me, man. Like I did an internship with ASAS in graphics, and the job I'm at now, that I'm not gonna flex with it, but the job I'm at now is I just don't like doing that in it. But I wouldn't have got that job without doing that internship.
It's not like it's impossible to do it without a call sign from a bigger brand. It's just longer. Obviously, it's longer because it's like what Ellie Hxward, Cold War. They've all been in like Kanye's camp from time now. Do you know what I mean? Like doing Gaga stuff and whatever. So like you know all the people you need to know.
Do you know what? All respect to Virgil, right? But I don't think he would have been at the point he is so quickly without Kanye, man. Because that exposure. Do you know what I mean? Oh no.
Because it validates you. Isn't it? It's one of them. Like you get. Not saying he wouldn't, but like it just helps, isn't it?
Yeah. But like he came for internship as well. Like still the internship is what I reckon really pushed him.
You know what else it is as well? Knowing how to approach certain things. So one thing for me, like I struggle with finding fabrics, finding manufacturers, and just knowing how to approach certain things and where to look to find certain things. And I find like when you've got, say, internships and you've got people like that around you, it's then kind of somewhat takes the stress off you because you don't have to worry about it. Like if you've been to an internship, they can show you or put you in certain paths where you know where to go for certain things. Whereas if you don't have that, it's going in blind basically. Like you literally be spending hours on Google trying to find something that you potentially can't find on Google. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these manufacturers as well, like the ones where you have to pull up. Like if you don't know someone direct, it's not happening. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it's interesting, man, seeing certain brands like Noir, for example, and seeing them flourish now, because I know in the autumn-winter show was very interesting, man. Obviously the whole concept behind Noir obviously means black. But someone raised a comment, I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, but they raised a comment about silhouettes and how if you're designing in black, you can't hide a silhouette behind colour because black's so striking that you can't avoid that. But I think if I was designing, that's one thing I'd be scared of.
But I think, you know what, it's one of them where it's all about structure as well. So it's all about how things are pieced together, because it's one of them ones that, especially when it comes to women's wear, if you're doing a dress or whatever, then it's inevitable it's going to happen. But it depends on to the extent of your design and what you're trying to do with it, because say, for example, you've got CDG who, there's certain piece, I can't remember what collection it is, but it was mad, I can't remember, it was wild, and there was a lot of like blacked out shit, and there was no silhouette at all, it was just the shape of whatever it was trying to put out, if that makes sense.
Asymmetric.
Yeah. So it's one of them where it depends on what you're doing and what you're trying to do with it. I feel like if you're trying to avoid that, then you will avoid it, because you're gonna make sure that that's not like it's not a problem. You feel me? So it depends though.
I prefer to design just all in one colour. Like all the pieces on a release, they're just like this is just all black, but it's different fabrics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you get texture from that.
So like it's about hiding behind colour. A lot of brands can hide because you put colour blocking in, and it's interesting now. But will it be interesting? Is the design interesting, or is it
when you strip that back?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like it's all down to paneling and your fabric selection. That will still make it.
One question I want to ask you quick time. Do you find that...
Are you asking this?
Yeah, I need to ask questions though. Just like first.
Wait, who are you asking though?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Do you find when it comes to the like colouring and that, is it a fear thing? Or is it like you find it more easier? Or is it just personal preference?
What, for not want to do colours?
Yeah.
I've rather designed in colours, but I don't really. It's like, I feel for me, I find it more of a challenge to not do the colours. and I prefer that because like, when I dress anyway, I don't really mix up too much. So I just feel like I find it more of a challenge to see what I can do to pan in with the textures than just slapping colours in.
And to still make it interesting, being like one colour as well. Is that more challenging than just?
I just like monochrome shit anyway. Like in general, do you know what I mean? Like I've rather got designs where it's like mad colouring. Like I've got garments like that, you know. Yeah. But I just like I think who does it well? Like Martin Rose's. It's like a green, purple, and orange jacket.
Yeah.
Bro, hard. It's like half like 8 inches zipping.
I feel like I've seen it recently. Come out recent?
Like a season ago. When we was in Milan, it was there.
Talk about that actually. Still,
Milan.
The Milan trip. Yeah. He looked mad.
It was a raw movie, you know.
You know what's crazy? The maddest thing is, I don't even know if I told you. I wasn't even meant to go with these, man. I was going to go on my own.
Because I remember you talking about it ages ago.
Yeah. Because it's one that I was meant to move. I was meant to move next month, but that's a whole other ball game. Yeah, these ones were like, pulling through and that madness.
It was
absolutely patterned it for cheap as well. Yard was blessed. Whole thing was a movie, made connections out there. It was just sick, man. It was just sick, like.
Wait, so who went?
So it was me, Myles, and then our boy Jacob. Our guys.
This photo. Bad boy photography.
It's mad though, because you know what's crazy? Yeah, you know what's crazy though, like. Because when we went, that was my first time ever going, and it was one place I always wanted to go. And you'd have in your mind Milan, like Fashion Central, whatever. I think I would probably seen like probably like 5 tons that were like.
True, say we went the week after Fashion.
Yeah, we went the week after, but even then, no, it was like.
So they all went Paris after. But
so it was one of them where. So I had man pulling up on us like, yo, like you ain't from here, like outfits something mad, and I'm like, huh? Like, that's what I'm saying. What even flexing like that, bro? Like it was one of them where.
Trying to look cozy.
Like, it was cold as well, bro. Like, it was just snowing and that. Like, snow coming down like bricks, bro.
You're in Milan in July?
Yeah, I've got like a cousin who's studying fashion at uni in Milan, and it's like some like private uni, very expensive. Yeah, she was like, you need to come visit. I was like, I'll go to Milan, sure.
It's sick.
We need to plan a little
time though.
Yeah.
Like, out of fashion season, it's just like, see what it's saying fully.
That's what we were discussing, man. I want a Paris trip, you know. For
Paris is
it's one of them. It's cheap as well, man. Like it's one of them where if you've got like say it's 3 days off, check flights if you can book it, man. Cause it's one of them where how much did we pay for Milan that time? It was what 70 quid for the flight return.
Yeah, and it was like another like 60 each for the yard.
Yeah,
so like it was cheap stuff.
Like so it's change, absolutely
like
change. Was there for like what 6 days?
I'm praying that my agency sorts me some work over there, man. Because that would be sick if I get to go to Paris for work.
Even Paris, like me and Valdez went the Christmas the December before to go collect stuff before they closed, and then 6 store.
What's it called?
Colette. So they closed like 2 years ago, innit? After like 20 something, 50 years, I don't know, but they closed. But yeah, like with the yard we was at, was like £40 it cost us for a couple of days.
That was mad as well. Show me the photos, and I was pissed. I was meant to come in, I couldn't go because of work. Yeah.
We didn't do that again, so. But then the flights was like £60, £70 flights.
So I feel like this will transition well to the next segment called Collaborations. So basically, where we discuss collaborations between designers that we feel are either fire or fired. So, so first one is, do you know what? We'll hit you with the Balenciaga Crocs.
Yeah, you can feel it from.
What are we saying? Fire or fired?
Now you know what it is. They are fired, yeah. But I feel like I'd still cop them just for the jokes. Like,
yo, if you can flex them,
no one can flex them. No one can flex them. But you know, it's one of them where like
you do it for a
say if you're linking a man, it's just a joke thing. Just slap them on, bro.
But Crocs and bras starting to pay influencers and shit, yeah.
Yo, imagine man, just walking out,
like 6 foot tall. That's what you say.
I've seen bare influencers wearing Crocs now. They're like #ad. Don't get paid. So if they look in the bag, then they'll do anything.
If you're not a nurse, you shouldn't be wearing them, bro. That's my opinion.
I would wear them though. Yeah. Not out on a day to them. I would wear them.
Just for like one picture.
Just for, yeah, man. Like it's one of them. Like just for the jokes, bro. Like
I'm not gonna lie.
Everyday serious, isn't it?
That's in the bin for me. Okay, next one is the Sakai and Nike collaboration. Yeah.
That green pair I need on.
What, you done with footwear or everything?
But then the monochrome ones, and the colour like
Off-white's not for them.
Yeah.
The worst thing is I got broad foot, so probably won't even look good.
Well, like the blazers they did as well. High.
You know what? Insert a clip of like people fighting outside stores and shit. That is what Sakai is gonna be, man.
Literally everything they've done with Nike is before. I mean, even like down to like the women's shit, like these dresses and shit. Hard.
Have you seen the Slam Jam Blazers?
Yeah.
And then the new Converses as well. The two-tone Converse.
With like split down the middle and stitch.
You have to show me this.
Yeah, they got it's like one size like all vintage and sort of like off-white and like white and shit, and then the other size like white and it's mad. And they got the same with like the black pair as well.
Yeah, the female, but the satins ones. But they didn't have my size because it's like a women's shoe and it's
what size?
10.
Oh, it's just some 9. Probably could adjust the bar screen.
Nah, to be fair, I could probably squeeze in a 9. I could, because like
they do come up big anyways. Though so Jordan ones in general come up big, so it's one of them. Nice
But next one, Uniqlo and JW Anderson.
Yeah, you already know,
bro. Come on, that's my guy, fam. Okay, first collection, hard.
Yeah, that's the collection that was fucking weird, man.
Bro, I got ball trenches from that, puffer, and like 2 scarves.
I was so late on that shit.
He should be doing the next one, I believe.
He's doing that?
He needs to do another one. We need another like first one again, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought with JW still.
The first collection as well, when it dropped, I weren't too keen on it. And then seeing him do his thing, I remember it was all talking about copying, and it jumped on the website and I was like,
I got straight.
And I think the puffer was in stock for time. And I was like, I'm not too keen, I don't know. And then got to the point I was like, you know, I'm gonna copy it. Had like a small left, bro. Couldn't find my size anywhere else, bro. So I just took that on.
The joke is the biggest went and sale mad. Like I must have got the puffer and scarf first and then full price. And then I cut the first trench half price, and then went half price after that. So I thought I cut the trench.
How'd you get discount like that?
Well, this was the website.
You know that reminds me. I forgot. I bought the
You got the blue one.
I bought the women's one because it was weird because it was showing a photo of the tartan one. And then the women's blue one, but I didn't know which one was which. But I was like, just copy anyways. Because like, even if it's the women's blue one, women's shit fits hard, and it's just like, come see what I want.
The women's
blue thing, bro.
I wanted the bag. I wanted the tote bag.
Like, speaking of collaborations, you know what piece I need? I swear, I won't even accept death until I get this piece. I speak to you about it the other day. The white and black Craig Green Moncler puffer.
What the We literally had that on the list. That was the next one. That was the next one.
Let's roll into it.
Trust me, there we go. Perfect. Well, I was talking to him about it. Was it yesterday, the day before?
Monday.
When I say
fire.
I ain't got words. Like that jacket there. I don't know what it is why I love it so much, but yo.
It sounds like I'm sucking ass, man. But Craig Green, just anything the man does.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna keep it real. Last obviously, me personally, I don't know, but everything else is on point. It's just on levels, bro. Like
that's probably my biggest influence. Like workwear, obviously, his worker jackets are mad. That's one piece that I'm gonna save and copy. But that inspired these jackets. You know what I mean? Like the construction method of it. You know what I mean? So definitely look up to him for that stuff. I met him as well randomly. Right. Gas. I told you when I was in London. I know Bob's Gas, of course. But yeah, like big inspiration, design wise.
I think my top 3 are probably Craig Green, Sakai. I want to say Ray, but it's probably at the moment. It's probably what's his name, man? Cold War designer. Samuel. Yeah. I mean, the stuff he's done with Oakley as well, man.
I fuck with the Oakley club.
Yeah.
No more Cold War, I'm not. There's a lot of pieces I won't really fuck with. Couple pieces I do. But I'm rating the Oakley stuff, so...
Yeah, Samuel Russ, man. doing bits. But yeah. What was the last one? I had another one. We had another one, man.
What about the Craig Dean shit? But then I don't know what else. I think that whole like genius like project thing was like hard. Like how you got bare different designers to all do their own take on the Moncler shit. Hard.
That's
like just a concept.
What do you think of the whole black, the whole big thing with the puffy trousers and everything?
The Craig Dean shit.
Skepta was rocking.
Yeah,
do you know what? He rapped it well.
Hard.
Not so.
Yeah.
Like you look at it, you just don't know what the fuck. Like, maybe people take the piss in and be like, nah, hard.
It's just mad to play for those, you know what I mean? Like playing with form and fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone said the other day, like when you're doing design, you're taking this flat material and you're making something 3D in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be able to come up with them kind of forms and even like his sculptures that he does, do you know what I mean? The set designer. I follow his set designer.
They had some of them at what's it called, Dover Street in London, like when that was going on, they had all the sculptures and shit. Like
even the man for the first year, the man made those pumps.
Yeah,
bro. Just things like that. So that's why like it's a whole set, it's a whole stage. You know what I mean? It's like it's a performance.
Yeah.
That's what I think. If fashion do more of that,
definitely.
I think
that's when it's doing something.
Talking about performance, the Prada Autumn Winter runway was interesting, man. Because I heard it was based off Frankenstein, man, like Mary Shelley type shit. And obviously that's one of my favourite fictional books. So, and because it's such an iconic like imagery, it's easy to it up, man. Like you could play with some bullshit, like make the makeup all like zombie-ish and shit. That would have been corny as but the way they executed it was sick. Because obviously it's playing on like light bulbs and all the runway was like flickering light bulbs and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was based on Frankenstein, man. And then even with LV, man, the recent LV runway, that was loosely based off Michael Jackson. But you wouldn't have guessed it really because it's quite subtle. You see the little glove pieces and shit, the sparkles. Yeah, I
saw that in selfies in London, man. Hard.
But you wouldn't like a corny way of approaching it would be to like do like white socks and like slip on black leather. You know what I mean? You could easily it up. So
that's the difference between. I said to my boy as well. It's the difference between referencing. Man.
Oh, I'm trying not to curse this here, man.
Yeah, about it, man.
That's the difference between referencing something and just copying something. A lot of brands reference, but they just straight rip it off in it.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to like take elements,
take hints,
but no one should be able to know where it's coming from except for you.
So the next segment's called Hot Topic. It's basically where we highlight something that's been big in the news as of recent, and we kind of discuss our opinions on it. So topic for this week is the whole burning of Notre Dame, man. I didn't do that on purpose, by the way, with the hot topic thing, burning.
Yeah, I pointed that out.
Yeah, I'm not trying to diss it, don't worry. I respect it. Yeah, because I think from an architectural standing, it's interesting because I know that the south side of the wall apparently was recycled. Like, there's a whole structure on the thing that they recycled from like another church apparently. And like I was looking into it mainly because talk about it on here. There's like a whole forest like on top of their building apparently that are naturally grown and shit. Like, obviously that wasn't done intentionally, but just it looked like a beauty of a sculpture.
It was an amazing building.
Yeah.
Like I got to see it when I went to Paris a couple of years ago.
I've never been, man. That's why it hit me more. Because I was like, right, I'm not going to be able to see it how it was. Do you know what I mean? It might get rebuilt, or it will get rebuilt, but I'm never going to see it in the original.
You heard about how they're rebuilding it?
Huh?
You heard about how they're rebuilding it? Johnny was telling me apparently in Assassin's Creed that it was 3D scanned. So apparently they're using the scanning from Assassin's Creed.
From the, what was it? Free.
Honestly, I don't even know. Johnny told me the other day still. But,
so they've already got the whole thing like patterned.
Yeah. So they've got the scanning already, so they can literally just go straight into it, which is mad. The first guy that put in was like 100 mil. But you think about everything else that's going on in the world as well.
Exactly.
You don't.
Like, if you look at Flint, bro. They had clean water in like God knows how long, but then they've got. But I think Trump's putting in peas, and it's like there's other things which
that could be done.
Not saying it's not important, but there's other things which are more important, which the funding should be there for, and it's like people just sit like just like
all the time, man.
I feel like keep them in your prayers, but like it's a bit mad still.
Right.
Have you seen what Willow Smith done with Adidas?
Yeah.
Mad. Basically, it's like a Ultra Boost, but it's basically making like a line of shoes which are fully recycled. So like old shoes that are like be recycled into other shoes. So like basically her argument is like create more with less.
Yeah.
So it's like literally the whole shoes recycled, which is mad. It's sick. The video's nuts as well.
It was recent that I saw it.
Yeah, I seen it like 2 days ago on Twitter.
Yeah.
So.
I got was it partly on the Ultra Boost out of like seaweed or something.
Yeah. I saw that.
But like both of them are doing bits, man. You gotta shout out Will, like he's definitely raised his kids right.
For real.
Yeah.
Like a lot of celebrities have kids, like the kids you gotta think like the kids are gonna grow up with it, like born into it, and
privilege, innit?
and not really thinking that much about doing like their own things, but them two are really doing their own thing, yeah.
Even in the rap game, man, like obviously he got so much stick for the music he used to make, but he's slowly developed himself.
You know that he's been on bits from day one. You know, thing I rate as well. Some people might not see it like that, but the fact that he's got so much peace and the family he's born into. My man basically wears the same guns every day.
Yeah.
Jada.
Jada.
You find that mad, like you literally wear like near enough the same guns every day. Like that's mad still. Man's born into a family with dumb peas. It's like man, it's like he just don't care.
Yeah, I respect that.
Like he doesn't care. I feel like he'd come from and he'd still be blessed. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think another person that has that same mentality is Joshua, man, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, you seen his yard?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention.
It's crazy.
The whole so when he trains in London a lot of the time, he's got the same yard that he used to like be raised on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw losing his mum's yard.
Yeah.
I had him on Snapchat. I was watching his stories and I was like,
yeah, where you at?
It's like some beat up sofa and anything it's like like it's not broken, like it's comfy and like why change it? So I don't need like some crazy expensive sofa. This one's sweet.
Literally,
It's
there's
like a
like
running
nothing in his
machine
house,
and
man.
and then man's been drifting around in ranges every day.
The thing is, you know that he's got more than one yard in it, but I respect that when he does train in London, he trains there, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, the issue was a lot of people are comparing the situation with Notre Dame to Greenfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With every right though,
Yeah.
because like you've got people out there still waiting to be home.
Obviously,
Like, lost
exactly.
everything, and like this has got how much funding in what a day, where there's people that still need to be home, who've got kids. Like some people potentially living with like grandparents, like whatever, their older parents, like elderly and whatever, and they're still waiting for the bare minimum.
that's the thing, man. Because obviously, I was reluctant to speak on it because obviously that's not my ends, and but at the same time, I've got pals that live in blocks like King's Heath area. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, bro, if that same situation happened to them there, I'd feel exactly the same.
This is the thing as well. Like, was anyone harmed in this fire? In
in Notre Dame, I don't think so.
I'm saying people lost
No.
lives. People lost lives, you know, and then
Yeah, agree.
and this is what I'm saying. There's families that have lost people in that, and then they're still having to deal with what they're dealing with while grieving over a loss as well.
Yeah.
But then you've got a building which like, it's a bit mad still. It's a bit
It's
mad.
a building though.
It's the world we live in, isn't it? Like,
But it's like how Trump's trying to spend like millions on that wall for Mexico because he don't like immigrants, but like there's people starving. And, like he don't even want to pay his government, but like he's paying for this fuck off wall.
what a guy. Seen a photo of him without his hairpiece on.
Yeah.
Mad.
Isn't it a video
Man
to
looks like
pull
that.
up and it's like,
We ended off with I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but
No.
Can't lie.
You don't watch it?
I haven't even watched I don't think I've watched a clip of it.
No,
I'm
neither.
surprised.
Like literally, if I see a clip, I only watch the trailer. If I see a clip, I just scroll past. I just
Ghost of Wales, I was like, oh, what season are they on now? Like 3, I can catch up. It's probably 8 or 6. 8, what do you mean? I got no chance catching up.
You watched Us?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a whole different.
Nah, I had to still. I watched it. Sick. I beg you.
You don't rate the video?
Okay. There's so much that was going through my head when I watched that film, man. Like so many different things. I don't know how you think about cloning as a general thing in general.
I don't rate it.
No, cloning as far as just like, do you believe that we as humans are being cloned, or like they can clone humans?
I can't even lie.
No, I think they definitely can, but I don't think they should.
No,
I think it's happening. You know.
Yeah, I think it's happening.
You know what? I'm like, I can't lie. I look deep into things.
Yeah,
like, even down to like when iPhone first brought out fingerprint. I was like, nah, I'm not fucking.
Yeah,
but then
facial
like,
recognition.
But I was like, at the end of the day, if they want to take my fingerprint, they're gonna take it, and because I still have to touch my home button. And then like with the face recognition thing, like
more time, I've
got if like
you got a little cover on the thing.
Bro. Stick it there,
that's me, man.
Stick it there, bro. Like it's, I can't.
I took it after the podcast.
I don't trust it. I always feel like there's always.
Miles is looking at us like, yo, you're weird.
Nah, for real. The way I feel it, they're gonna watch it. They're gonna watch you in the film.
And they'll see you everywhere. They're already seeing your face.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not doing anything on my laptop that like I don't want being seen.
People see, yeah. It's my phone, innit?
I just don't trust what we've been told. Like, if you seen
no, definitely not.
What happened to Monday?
Yeah, with the sisters.
Yeah, with the sisters. Like, even things like that. Like, I don't trust it still. Like, I think everything that we're told, I don't believe it still. But obviously, it's
funny. Daily Paper come out. You know that brand? The Daily Paper. Yeah, they come out with a little laptop cover.
So,
yeah, literally like a full on. Mad.
They're from Damn, innit?
Yeah. I only noticed that recently because I was thinking, wait, where's the origins of this brand?
Oh, where they from?
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. I think like there wasn't a pop up in Damn, and that's when the artist was there. And that's when I deeped that. That's where they were from, innit? Yeah. Because
I remember, I think the first person, funny enough, that I saw wearing that brand was Tiny Temper, man.
Really?
Yeah, Tiny Temper was wearing that, and I thought it was his brand, and then I looked into it, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, they're killing it.
It's mad. I didn't realise how big Tiny Temper was into fashion until like just a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's got his own brand.
Yeah, it's mad. I remember I seen the runway.
Yeah, Schmuck Kendrick as well. So
yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
Yeah, what was I gonna say about us, man? Yeah, bare things were going through my head, man. I was thinking, okay. I was there, okay, because I was thinking, Jordan Peele films as well. Obviously, there's a lot of issues in the US, and then I was deep in it that much. I was thinking, his first film was called Get Out. The first film called Us. The second film was called Us. Sorry, that he's kind of made as his own film. But also like Us being US. And I was thinking, yo, get out US. Yo, get out the US. Like, yo, he's telling man, get out the US, man. Dead place.
It's a bit of a weird analogy. Everybody knew exactly what I was talking about.
You know, I think it was with that movie though. I think there was a lot of pressure on him because of
Get Out.
How well Get Out.
It wasn't as good as
it was. But this is the thing, no, I think because of the pressure that was on him for that, like obviously expectations for everyone was high on it, and I feel like he kind of fell into the pressure basically. I feel like there's a lot of things in that movie, like I think it had mad potential.
Yeah,
but it's not explained more though.
Yeah, like it's one of them. Like there's so many things which just didn't
like click.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. Like I feel like it could have been explained better or done a certain way. Because like even with actually I don't even want to speak too much because some people probably still haven't seen it, but.
Be careful.
It's one of them where you know the ending. Okay, you know the ending. You know the ending when you find out with the mom and whatever.
Like somebody's already told me everything on the way that will work.
Okay. Like when you find out the ending with the mom and like who's who and whatever. Like it's just it makes sense, but then it don't make sense because then it's like.
There's a whole lot that
it's like Get Out. There's so many things from the start that like clicked at the end, innit? Like I've watched Get Out like a few times, and there's so many more things. Like every time I watch it, like I notice something else in it, and it's like, oh right, like this says this here, and like the granddad being like the runner, and then like the guy in the gardens running, innit?
Yo, Lakeith Stanfield in that film though is mad.
Yeah.
You know Lakeith. He plays he's the geezer that gets kidnapped in the first scene of Get Out. And then he's the geezer with the hat.
He's in Atlanta as well.
So Atlanta, bro, his role in Atlanta is sick.
Yeah, Atlanta's such a sick show.
Have you seen season 2? I've watched that whole season 2.
I think season 1 definitely pops more than season 2.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot of films do like what a lot of things do when it's your first one. It makes the biggest impact.
The biggest,
You have to try and follow up on that, innit?
But the best thing that scares me with fashion, you know, I'm scared. I'm actually scared that like just I want like my first collection to bang. I'm scared that my first collection is gonna bang, and then like people just don't take the second one as well as the first.
I think when you drop your own, when you drop Number anyway, that shows you really who's like riding with you. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you've put it out there and had it out there for a while, and obviously that's gonna show who's like still on it. Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna be there and being like, yo, I rate this, or you know, I'm gonna support this. More the support side, man. Because you're gonna get bare people regardless, because you got talent that are gonna with it. People that are actually gonna support it. Do you know what I mean?
Damn, oi, wise, spooky thing.